Yo, what's going on, producer community? It's no one really, and I'm back again. Today we're gonna be taking a look at Pandora, which is a new sound bank for Flex. So it's made by Black Octopus. So if you've ever checked out any of their other expansions before, and you like their stuff, you're probably gonna like this. But you know, everything that you hear in the background was made with this expansion, of course, with the exception of the drums, percussion, things like that. So, you know, this sound bank features about 120 presets, and we're gonna go through all of them. So we're gonna take a look at the basses, leads, synths, sounds, things like that, just to give you guys an overview. Now, this is a paid expansion, and so you can pick it up for about $15 during the beta. You know, so without further ado, let's get into it. Let you guys take a listen at these sounds. Also, if you want to just skip the long video and you just want to hear the basses on their own, the leads on their own, I've actually created a playlist where you can check out those particular sections by themselves. So check the description box. Also, stay tuned for the end where I give you my input on what I thought about these sounds. So, anyway, let's get into All right, so that's been a look at Pandora for imgae-line Flex, the brand new expansion. Depending on when you viewing this, this is the second one that's out. It's following the success, or however you want to look at it, of synthesizer science. Speaking of that, I would like to point out that I do have somewhat of a gripe with Pandora because of synthesizer science, and it may not be like what you think. Basically, the reason why I have a gripe is because when I picked up synthesizer science, I got 320 sounds at $10, and then when I picked up Pandora, I got 129 sounds at $15. Now that's a huge discrepancy of about 200 sounds or so. And so, with that being said, I also like to come down and quickly point out that, like, we have a few categories where we just don't have much going on or anything at all. So I'm like, I like to think that when I spend more money, I get more stuff. I don't expect to expend more money and get less. Now, arguably in my case, I felt like Pandora sounded better. Like the sounds, that the pads I felt were richer. The leads, I was able to vibe out with the leads. But see, that's a subjective choice unless somehow they consciously know that, producers are really gonna be feeling this pack, and then they just producing garbage on purpose. Now, I'm not trying to say that that's what they was trying to do. I feel like maybe every pack they releasing is a hit in their opinion, because they want us producers out here to be making hits, and classics and things like that. So I know they're not gonna put out no whack packs, right? So under that idea, I sit around, while making this beat, trying to think of a way where it could be fair, because time is money. You got people out here crafting sounds, making things for us to use to make our jobs a little bit easier. So, you want to invest and you want to, feed the system, if you will. And so I was like, okay, how much would I feel be comfortable with paying on an expansion like this? And so, kind of what I do is I cop VSTs because I like building up my library personally. And I'm thinking like, okay, if I'm spending, $10 for a sound pack, and I know that I could spend $30 to get 1,700 sounds, how many sounds should I be getting? And, around 300 for $10 is alright, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like at the max, you should be around somewhere around $10. Like 15, that's kind of pushing it. I expect if I'm paying 15, I'm getting like 500-600 sounds, basically half of the 1,700. Like I definitely spent $30 and got a VST that's 1,700. Shout out Self Master. So anyway, not trying to super bash here, but basically, I feel like image line need to come up with a better pricing strategy. And again, going back to these sounds, basically I'm looking at the fact that there should be something in every category, in every pack, or at least, give us more leads, more PGOs, more bases to help balance that out. And again, keep the packs at a set rate, you know. Now, I hesitate on my other suggestion because I'm not necessarily a fan of it because it could go left real fast, but I feel like it's possible if it's done right. A subscription model in this instance would be fair. Like, for instance, if it's got these type of parameters, like, you spend $20 a month, but you get to download every pack that's available in the shop. And obviously you get to keep what you download should you have to cancel at any time, because life as a producer doing music ain't always the easiest. So you might things might change, or maybe you might have a new decision, or you got the sounds you need and you don't need no packs for a while, so you don't need to be a subscriber no more. You want to really work with what you got. Whatever the case may be, canceling your subscription should be fine, and then you can just pick up individual packs at that flat rate. And to me, that seems like a fair way to do it. No, like locking you in, you gotta pay like a whole 3 years out and all of that stuff, and you can't cancel and woo, you gotta play some XX style. Like, nah, none of that, man. Do it right and be fair about it. And so, you know, I think that if they were to do something fair and right like that, they get cash, we get good sounds, boom, boom, everybody wins. You making more music, you're able to stay within one plugin, all the benefits that come with working in-house, that you have when you have an internal plugin that's provided by the original developer of that DAW. So, I'm looking at it from that way. I definitely see a lot of potential in Flex, and I really like Pandora. Now, if they're gonna be releasing a bunch of packs like this, I'm definitely excited about that. Synthesizer Science, again, like I say, that one really wasn't for me, but Pandora, the pads, love the pads, and I really like the leads, and I really like the arpeggios. So that this one get a high rating. I'm just disappointed by the amount of sounds and the fact that I spent $15 for less sounds. So, with that in mind, like I say, I look forward to what they're gonna do. Always remember that every day is a good day to craft greatness. But you don't have to take my word for it. This has been No One Really.